Yo, what's good, party people in the place to be? What's good? It's your main man, Uncle Freezy, number one chief rocket in Knicks universe. What's good? What's good? What's good? Finally, we got something right. Finally, we got something right. Okay. Now we rocking. Now we rocking. Lee Larrabee, what's good? King Poppy, what's good? I see you. JJ in the building, what's good? William Turnbull, okay, I see you. Darren Wayne, what's good? All right. Yeah, man. Yeah, y'all. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's get this party started right. All right. Nick G in the building was good. Yo, what's good? Man, it's been a weird day, man. It's been a weird man. Look, man. It's been crazy. It's been crazy. But let me get to the topic real quick. Let me get to this topic, man. Have the Knicks done enough this offseason to be respectable? Have the Knicks front office done enough, right? Have the Knicks done enough? William Turner says, did Uncle Freezer get a night of sleep? Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good on that front. Where I'm not good is I can't figure out if the Knicks have done enough to become a respectable franchise. I don't know. I don't know if the Knicks have done enough. Right? I guess the first part of this question should be what is respectability? What level do the Knicks have to get to for us to consider something respectable? Right? What level is that? What level is that? I'm gonna leave that for y'all to decide. Will Salkins in the building. What's good? OCD, what's good? I see you. Rich boy in the building. I'm gonna leave that for y'all to decide. I'm gonna leave that for y'all to decide. JJ says somewhat, I'd say, but not enough to be a contender. And what I'm gonna say to that, man, is this. What I'm gonna say to that is this. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna offer a suggestion though to the Knicks. Go get more help. Go get more help. Go get more help because clearly what you've done is not enough. But with that more help, you don't have to break the bank to do it. Shore up the edges, right? Right, shore up the edges. Listen, you don't have to go out and get KD, right? But how about um, a dynamic backcourt project? Right? How about a dynamic backcourt project? I have one. I'm gonna send it to EG 14,000 to say what he to see what he thinks. Dripmore's in the building. King Poppy, what's good? Almighty Finesse is in the building. What's good? So what I'm going to say is this. Man. I don't know if they have, but I don't think it can hurt. I don't think it can hurt if they go out and get a dynamic young backcourt prospect. Right? And here's the thing. I know you guys are maybe thinking like, man, dynamic young backcourt prospects don't just come along. Yeah, they do. I have one in mind right now, right? I have one in mind right now. And yes, he's a project. Jay Singh in the building. Canal Bond Lawyer in the building. What's good? What's good, y'all? It's good to see y'all, man. For real. It's good to see y'all. How y'all doing, man? What I'm gonna say is this. I would take a gamble on a prospect like Mac McClung. Notice I said take a gamble on a prospect like Mac McClung. Notice I said take a gamble on a prospect like Mac McClung. Hard Will in the building. Tiffin Smith was good. Yeah, Darren Way. I saw that. I saw Mac McClung signed. I don't know what kind of contract he signed, though. I think he signed an Exhibit 10, right? They signed him to a 1-year deal. Okay. Non-guaranteed. Okay, the Warriors signed Mac McClung. Let me see that. Spot track. Okay. Yeah. I would say take a gamble on a prospect like Mac McClung. And here's why. Here's why. That 15th spot on our roster last season was occupied. Can anybody remember the 15th man from last season? Anybody? Can somebody explain to me who the Mac McClung signed an Exhibit 9 minimum. Okay. I see it on Spot Track. Okay, I got you. I'm looking at Spot Track right now. Spot Track, however you pronounce it. Anybody remember the 15th man from the New York Knicks last season? And when that name comes to your mind, tell me if the risk versus reward of a dynamic prospect, the gamble on a dynamic prospect, is better than the guy we carried as the 15th man. Sherwin says, ignore him. He fishing for a controversial take. No, I know I'm not. No, I'm not. Darren Wayne. Yep. There it is. Last year, our 15th man was a guy out of Kansas named Wayne Selden. We cut Wayne Selden after the Denzel Valentine trade and brought in Ryan Arcidiacono. Right? Now, think about what I'm saying. Is taking a gamble on a high upside, and the bust potential was there too. Now, the bust potential is there too, right? Would I rather have Mac McClung or somebody in that mold or Wayne Selden? Off rip, I'm telling you, I would rather have the cat from Summer League team, number 16 from the Summer League, than Wayne Selden. Y'all remember the dude number 16 from the Knicks during Summer League? What's 16's name? Daquan Jeffries. That's him. Off rip. I think I would rather have Daquan Jeffries than Wayne Selden. What about y'all? Would y'all rather have Daquan Jeffries or Wayne Selden? Y'all tell me. Would you rather have had Wayne Selden, who was our 15th man last year? Wayne Selden, who was our 15th man last year, or Daquan Jeffries? Right? Now y'all see where I'm going with this. Jermaine Royster's in the building. What's good? Would I rather have Daquan Jeffries or Wayne Selden? Right? Hardwell. Look, man, let me throw this link in the chat. Let me throw this link in the chat so we can have this conversation. Sherwin, you being quiet now. Where's Sherwin at? Sherwin is quiet now. Sherwin, I need your response. Bim, Hardwell in the building. What's good, bro?
What's good, bro?
Chillin, man. Chillin. Yeah, man. Hey, so my question is, would you rather have Wayne Selden or a high upside backcourt player that if he pops, he can contribute? Or would you rather have Wayne Selden a really good practice player?
I'm with you on this, Freezy. So I know I'm with you. We got to get way better than that, even as far as practice players.
Right. Right.
That's been the problem, you know.
Right.
We gotta up everything, and I think that's what talent acquisition is.
Right.
Start to acquire talent. Brunson is one. Hartenstein. The way the other guy keep coming on talking about Hartenstein, I got to say Hartenstein might be one too. So you know, at least he may be a big who could pass and um be outside. You know, that may help us. And we
It,
need
it,
more talent, or hopefully we get to see what some of these other guys is going to be if they still here this season, which it looks like they will be.
right. Right. And judge it and listen, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think the Knicks are not in a position. The Knicks are not in a position where they can pass on flyers. You know what I mean? Because a
Hmm.
lot of the players that we have are the same type of guy.
Exactly. Yeah, I said that. Log jams everywhere.
Right. 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 Right.
Hopefully they see that.
Yeah. What I'm saying to Knicks fans is or what I'm asking Knicks fans, what I'm asking is has the front office done enough? Right. And in my eyes, man, I think it's too early to tell.
Hmm.
But the major moves this offseason were Jalen Brunson and Isaiah Hartenstein.
Which ain't bad because considering we haven't had a point guard in so long.
Right.
So you know the problem with me, Freezy, I think um people and us being Knicks fans for so long, they use that to say that we have to give credit to them because we've known how long we've been bad for and we haven't had a
Right.
point guard. But I think it goes both ways
Right.
to where it should be even more pressure on the people in that position to
Right.
do better
Right.
and to make it obvious that they're doing better. Because when you're dealing with all the fans and people that cover the Knicks, you got a lot of intelligent people.
Right.
And when you're making moves, not saying they got to see every move that you make, but when time go by and we still don't see it, that means there was no moves being made behind the scenes. You
Right.
just never addressed us, and you never did nothing either. You know, it's like when we said that they cleaning their own mess, and people want us to give them credit for even those type of moves. And I feel like those people are just people that feel like because we haven't had nobody this good as far as what they predict those guys to be, that we should just give them more credit, but we don't really see results at a fast enough pace, if you ask me, because where we're sitting to even compete for them to get some results, we got to make more moves. And then they just signed their nephew or their godson, whatever he is to them. I felt like, remember on this show, you said, "Oh, well, that was a good point that the godson should be somebody on the muscle, and the
Yeah.
next player should be your hustle." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes.
So I don't know, bro. I'm with you. I don't see enough. I know the game. I've been a fan longer than a lot of people telling me I shouldn't look at it this way. I shouldn't look at it that way. You know, like when I did the Randall thing about him playing and stuff, people telling
Right.
me I'm getting all type of messages and people leaving comments.
Yeah, man.
Show up and show out. This is professionals. You making 80 to $100 million. If that's the case, just go there and sign autographs. I'm not covering sports to make excuses for anyone. I'm always gonna make sense
Right.
because we've been around long enough to make sense.
Right. Right. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's I'm not so I don't want to throw them. I don't want to throw them down the front office.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to ask that question though. Oh, I got a dog trying to roll up on my foot.
Sweezy dog is attacking him. But yeah, that's the question.
Yeah,
That's what I
dogs
think they
hate
don't.
socks, bro. Why do dogs hate socks, bro?
He's still young. He playing. He learning. He learning what he shouldn't do, what he should do. You know,
Yeah.
what he ain't allowed. You know, they bite all type of wires. They know on everything.
Yeah,
So
man.
you teaching him,
Yeah,
and
man.
he run the house. You know how it is when you get a puppy. They
Yeah,
run
man.
everything.
And I started to get a little girl puppy too, bro.
Mm.
I started to get a little girl puppy, but I was like, nah, man, I ain't want to. Because the first time me and Miss Mocha start arguing, I ain't want to be arguing against two. You know what I'm saying? You know how they say the girl dogs protect the house.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like she gonna lay her life on the line for the house. And you know what I'm saying? The other, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The boys just want to fight. They don't care. It's like whatever. They just want to, romp. You know.
She barking at you. Soon as Mocha upset, Miss Mocha upset, she
Yeah.
they know what's going on. Word.
Yeah, man.
But I
Yeah,
think
man.
they gotta stop with that, Freezy. I was saying when you had clicked out that it's so much work to be done that it's like chipping away.
Right.
But you
Right.
gotta
Gold.
hit
It's
the
like
right
gold mining. It's like
yeah,
gold
but you
mining.
gotta hit the right spot. You know that picture, right? With the gold mine with the guy putting his what do they call the thing they chip away with?
I
His
know what you're talking
axe or
about.
whatever he's chipping
Yeah.
away with is
Yeah.
on his shoulder and he's walking the opposite way and the diamonds are right there at one more hit. I love that meme or that picture of, dudes that give up on their dreams or the dude that hits it one more time and strikes rich.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's like the Knicks. To me, they hide stuff. They don't face up and say what it is and fix it and move on. Everything got to be a mystery. When anybody makes mistakes, you got to respect people who can make a mistake, admit they mistake, and move on from it. Just fix it and learn from it. But all this hiding, and then I still don't really see nothing really going on. People say, "Oh, you don't need to see nothing." All right. So remember, keep that energy when you don't see nothing too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They tell me, "Oh, you don't need to see him doing nothing," but when you don't see nothing and another season go by, keep that same energy
Yeah.
because I'm
Yeah.
gonna remember everybody who was saying, "Oh, they doing this." Listen, I just want to see it. I'm staying a Knicks fan, but
Right.
I don't think it's moving at a pace where I could be comfortable to say we going in the right direction. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, man. I listen, man. I ain't gonna begrudge nobody on their belief system because ultimately, people speak from their belief systems, right? Like with me, like myself. When I say certain things, like when I say I need to see something, it's because, bro, growing up, man, we was poor, bro. You know what I'm saying? Whole
Hmm.
hood, everybody on the block, man, everybody on the block poor. Like this dude up the street push his floor model in the backyard, and we used to go back there and watch Knick games. And my man wife used to pop popcorn, and we used to
Hmm.
just sit back there and eat popcorn and drink Kool-Aid. That was the cheapest meal. That was the cheapest meal you could make for like 20 or 30 little shorties up and down the street. That used to be our
Mm.
little treat. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
People giving back to the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Only thing that used to make us mad is she used to always try to make us wash our hands. Wash your hands, boy. And we like, oh man, my hands clean. You know what I'm saying? And so now coming from that situation when you're getting everything out the mud, bro, everything in life, everything. Like I'm not a academic, but I'm a college student.
Hmm.
Those two things go in separate directions because just because you smart or an intellect don't necessarily mean you have the discipline to stay in school and study. That was
Hmm.
me, but I did it though. I achieved my goals, right? And so So through all that stuff, man, I'll be telling people here that you can't sell me on faith, right? You can't tell me to have faith in this front office. I don't know them.
Mm-hmm.
I have faith in people that I know.
Facts.
People that I believe in. I have faith in them. I don't know Leon Rose. So to tell me to have faith in them, bro, I'm bugging. You got Uncle Freezy, you got to give them time. I ain't got to give them nothing. You know
They
why?
ain't even up to us. Is they going to extend him? That should be a good question. Is they going to extend him or for just Brunson? Because the contract is running out. I'm not saying that's the only move they're going to make.
Right.
But that's a good question. Like, because everything is under contract. So, the person who signs him and pay him will have to make the decision if they're happy with the direction. Because they're not going to always say, off the moves, it's the direction and what possible, like Freezy was just saying, who he could possibly bring in the next free agency. Like that's what they keep selling, or what these players that y'all want to hold on to could possibly be, but we don't see the signs of them, and we see tons of players with the signs all around the league because we watch players and we watch the game, and then we say, oh, because the coach didn't play him, that was just because he didn't like them, or he wanted to win. That's what we say. He wanted to win. So think about that when you say that, right? The coach wanted to win. If I'm coaching, I'm putting the best player in to help me win.
Right.
Whether he the youngest or the oldest.
Right.
That's just how Tibs did it. So you can't look at it like he didn't play this player because he didn't like him. It was because he wanted to win. He didn't sabotage the season. And I had to break that down to myself because I always was hard on saying why Tibs did this or why he did that.
Right.
But you can't give the players more credit than they deserve.
Right.
If we have a roster like that and they're not playing the way you think they should be playing.
Right. And you know what players are judged by? Players and coaches are judged by separate units of measure. Right? Ultimately, the first thing a player gets judged by is points per game.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing we look at, right? For everybody. Like, whether it's Jordan, LeBron, and then the second thing is rings, right? How many rings he got? You know what coaches get judged by first? They win-loss record.
Facts.
Coaches get judged by their win-loss record, bro. You know what I'm saying? So when you start talking about a coach didn't play such and such and such, their reputation be on the line. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Uh-oh, Hartwell, you in trouble. Guess who the OG just showed up backstage, bro. You in trouble.
Bring him on. It's only one OG that I like too. Bring him on.
Oh, y'all ready to argue?
Bring him on.
I ain't ready to fuss, but I don't back down from no fight though.
Word up.
There he is. What's good, boss man?
Oh, that's the homie right there. So he always got a different perspective, but that's the homie right there. What's good, Rob?
What's good, Hartwell?
Chillin. Good to see you, bro.
What's good, man? How you doing?
Got a couple minutes before I go back into work, so I just thought I'd jump on.
Damn, man, you always at work, bro.
Yo, man, I got to get it, man. I'm going to see the Giants and the Cowboys, and I'm going to see the Yankees and the Red Sox all in the same weekend. September 22nd, and then the 26th, the Giants play the Cowboys Monday night. I'll be at both of those. So I got to come up to the city.
In Dallas?
No, they playing in New York. The Yankees is playing the Red Sox that Friday. Dallas is playing the Monday night game against the Giants that Monday.
God dog it. Man, I'm going to be in the city the weekend before that. Oh wow. Man. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can't afford financially to spend 2 weeks in the city. Y'all know.
Shit, man. Nobody want to do that.
Nah, the hell no.
Nah. Yeah. So what's going on? I seen somebody say something about Thibodeau and the way he done things.
It ain't just that though. It ain't just that, boss. Like we not criticizing really, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody criticizing Tibs, but
We
it's just
don't
like,
understand how
right,
how you a OG and you could just be so optimistic and it don't look so clear. And I've been around the game so long and student. I mean, you always give me good points though, but you just believe it's more than I do, bro.
he
Oh
got
no,
bait.
I don't. I look at Tibbs like this, and man, as far as I'm concerned, and I always said this, man, Tibbs is a bad evaluator of young talent. It has to be forced down on him. When people bring up Quickly and Grimes, look, the Knicks had a hard situation going back to Frank Nakina in that guard situation that anybody can get it. But when you evaluate in other positions with Tibbs is a bad evaluator of talent. That's why he had to come clean about who he had to play at the in a retrospect, what didn't help the season is what we all seen. And Tibbs didn't see it in the mix of the battle. And he wouldn't. And so he's totally responsible for that. He doesn't get a break for that like he knew what he was doing because he didn't. And he came to be and he had to claim on to it because what we all seen was right. And what he and his perspective was wrong. And he had to come clean. And he
Okay,
did. So I
right,
hopefully he don't do the same thing again this year.
right, right.
He got the benefit of the doubt because he had the he won coach of the year before, and that's the only reason why I think that he got the benefit of the doubt. You had to give it to him, but he was wrong. He was
Okay,
wrong. Did he cost the Knicks the season? Me, yes, because if you're talking about between 3 to 5 games to get you into the play-in, you can honestly say that Tibbs cost us the season
okay.
because that's what it came down to.
But does it? But did playing a young guy right there guarantee that you were going to win those games?
Well, I wouldn't say that it guaranteed though, but when you put a roster in place for the year, when you come into the NBA season and you say this is your roster, this is what you're saying you trust because this is your roster. And when you don't exercise that roster all the way to the end, no matter what happens, if it's go wrong, it's your fault because you didn't play your roster. You trusted all of these people to make the team and you co-sign each and every player to be on that team. But then when it got down to crunch time, you didn't play him. And then in retrospect, you said that you should have. So yes, it's a young player or not. Young player or not. He put himself in that position when he said that.
And he felt guilty because before I was
Exactly.
saying that throughout the season and then after the season, and he said that because it just, things surface. And sometimes you got to step away to see were you even wrong or right. Were you in a position? And I think that's what it was. And you hear a lot of us say it. He's stubborn, tips this, tips that. So he got another chance. So we'll see if he made adjustments on those things because really, this always been my take that the players that y'all say is going to be this or that, they still going to have to learn this season of some of the stuff they could have improved off last season. And that's why he was saying, he made a mistake because he realized that. And I always say, the kids that they plan on being the Knicks, they supposed to be developing them better as far as real-time minutes, not just saying, oh, he's getting better over here, sitting here. Like you got some guys in front of him that's really worth being in front of them. That's the problem. You have an all-star player in front of a player, that's inspiring to go against that player, not a player who is just a 6-man on another team starting in front of you, and you a young guy trying to come up in the league like Quickly or somebody. And you see other dudes like Maxi and all these other dudes playing and getting better. That's the example I always use.
But Hall, Will, who on the Sixers roster is better than Maxi at his position?
Well, even if you look at, I mean, he earned the position because of the
Right,
situation that happened, right?
right.
But when you look at even the other players that's around him, he's even better. Even though that's a great point, and I always say I don't compare him in Quickly because to me, I mean, quickly could have been that, and it depends on the situation. They're not far apart in players,
Right.
but I just think Maxi makes more point guard plays than Quickly does.
Right.
But you know, in that same situation in the SEC, they both played in that backcourt together. But Quickly was the SEC Player of the Year, not Maxi.
Yeah.
The difference between Quickly and Maxi is Ben Simmons. He was given that opportunity because of Ben Simmons. And then they seen if he can have it. Did he earn it? No, it was a need. Just how Quickly got to play in his rookie year because there was a need at that position, and Tibs didn't have no choice but to try to find the guard. But when you move down to the forwards and things like that, where Tibs is not under the gun, Tibs is going to stay with the veterans. But in that particular situation, if Quickly was in Philly and Maxi was there, you would see the reverse same situation because I've seen them both play live on many times because my friend down here has a cousin. His nephew played down there in Kentucky. He didn't go pro with the rest of them though, but I seen Quickly and Maxi play a lot of times.
Yeah, man.
And their game is so much similar, but opportunity changed the whole thing for Maxi. That Ben Simmons thing worked in his favor because then Doc played his roster. Doc didn't go try to step out there to go try to find another guard, which he could have been, and nobody wouldn't have said anything.
Nah, man. They did have a guard that they tried to play. They had the dude off the bench that was playing in front of Maxi, and Maxi beat him out. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The 6'5" dude that showed out in the playoffs when Kawhi was there and with Toronto. No, the other one. The other young dude. Shake Milton.
Oh, yeah. But see, he was shaky. But it was easy.
He's not shaky. He's streaky.
Yeah, he's shaky, streaky, whatever you want to call it. But you've seen that. But and what helped Maxi in that situation too was that Harden trusted him.
Right.
Harden trusted him more than he trusted Shake Milton, and then that gave him even more confidence. So in that situation, I'm thinking because they both the same type of player. They game like sometimes, man, when they was on the court, man, you had to look at their number to make sure who was who.
Right.
Yeah, their game was so similar. It was like, wow, that thing was crazy.
But do you still think they close?
Yeah, pretty much. Yes, I still do. Maxi just got a
playoff experience.
I think Maxi got more of a chance to prove it on a level that Quickly didn't get that opportunity yet. But I think that it's going to be coming sooner or later.
I think Quickly dominate him in matchups head-to-heads. I like Quickly in a head-to-head against Maxi every time, right? But the difference is when the defense starts focusing on Quickly, there's no other offensive option out there to keep the eyes off Quickly. But when Milton, when people put their eyes on Milton, you got to just on Maxi, you just gotta let Maxi eat. Because you ain't get ready to stop double teaming Joel Embiid or James Harden.
Right.
True.
Exactly.
True.
You just gotta let Maxi shoot until he cool off. You know what I'm saying?
True.
You just gotta live with it. Yeah. So I feel you though, because we used to watch them down in Columbia. You remember, and OG, you probably remember this. If you watch them, you'll remember this. You remember when everybody thought Ashton Hagans was better than both of them. Remember that? Remember the point guard? They thought Ashton Hagans, because he was more athletic and he had more pure play. He reminded you remember he reminded some of a point guard from North Carolina named Ed Cota. You remember Ed Cota?
Cota? Yeah, I remember Cota.
Yeah, he went like an athletic Ed Cota, right? You're like, oh, this dude he nice. You know what I'm saying? With the passing, you know what I'm saying? But he ain't never developed no shot. So ain't nobody respect the other parts of his game. Well, Quickly and Maxi were shooters. Even though Maxi was more streaky than listen, when Maxi got hot in the SEC, he could score he could just flat out just get it. And Quickly was just a dependable one.
Yeah, they both put in they both put in 30-point games in that season when Quickly became the SEC Player of the Year. And then he decided to come in. Yeah, Quickly was cooking the ACC, and Maxi was too, but Maxi was a little bit behind him. He was a little bit the better player when they looked at that team. It was Quickly. Quickly
But
was
didn't he
the
come
better
in
player
before him, Rob?
at that time.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Huh?
He came
Yeah,
in
he
before him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Now I don't want to act like opportunity. Opportunity is everything, and I think that boils back down to the same point I was making about even opportunity as far as like you said, Ben Simmons. What happened? He fell in there. But I think the Knicks had a similar opportunity because Burks was playing the point, and we go back and forth about it. But that's just the opportunity right there that we can't brush over because that's probably the easiest opportunity Quickly will ever get in the NBA. Besides going to Utah or somewhere
But
that's just straight rebuild.
but see, Doc wouldn't have did that. Doc wouldn't have went with nobody that didn't play point. He would have went with Quickly. That's the difference. Doc wouldn't have made that move that Thibodeau did. He would have went with Quickly. That's Doc's MO. Doc would have said, next man up. You play your position. I'm gonna bring him up because he's on the roster. And he's on that spot. That's the difference between Thibodeau and Doc. Thibodeau tried to invent something that didn't work. So now you're being held accountable for what you tried to invent. So therefore, Doc, like I said, Thibodeau takes the hit for all of that.
Okay.
All of that.
Yeah. But
And
that's
if it
my
cost
point
us the season,
why he may have passed Quickly, and Quickly was already a year ahead of him as far as being at the school. So I just feel like that playoff experience, and I heard you say about Harden, I think that he was already getting a chance before Harden got there because of the Simmons situation. Now, granted, because Harden liked him, helped him, but he showed up and showed out. That's the key part where he had to learn from that level of playoffs and having the ball in his hand like that.
Oh yeah, agreed.
That's what some of our players need. That was my point earlier I was trying to make.
That was a good
talking
point.
about the type of players next to you, and was Maxi the best player? But then when Harden came, he's getting that experience. Then he's playing with Embiid and a bunch of high level IQ players on Philly. Whether we, say some of our players is better or not, you know what I'm saying, Rob. You know how Knicks fans.
Yeah, no doubt. I think that in the heat of that press conference, that when Tibs said that, he said that because he was mad. He was mad that he was questioned. He threw that out there because he said some other dumb stuff like that before during the season. He said something about when the stars are not here, this is what you get, something like that.
Hey, Rob, you breaking up, bro.
Media challenge stands.
There it is.
Okay, wait, let me see if I can. Okay. All right. You hear me now?
Yeah, man. Now you good. I didn't hear that last 20 seconds though.
Okay, like when the media challenges Tibs, he gets super offensive and he shoots things out there. Like when he said that about, this is the best that we got. Now, basketball is not a complicated game. You know what I'm saying? It's not that complicated once you know the ins and outs of. And for him to say something like that, me personally, I felt as though that he just was insulting everybody's intelligence, because you can see what was going on with the situation, that Burks wasn't the guy. No matter what, everybody knew. That's what Knick Nation all came into to agree with. Burks wasn't the guy. And then at the end of the season, he's even going to say, when management talked to him about it, when he had to do his end of the season interviews, then he had to come to the conclusion like, yo, man, these New York fans are not stupid. So he bowed down. So we need to get. He said maybe this is what he should have done. So at the end, like, I think this year, okay, you 1-1, you player of the year, and you tossed last season. You really tossed last season. I think Tibs is going to be on a short leash this year. I really think Tibs is going to be on a short leash. If things go left and he don't use the roster, to try to figure it out, Tibs will be gone by January. If he doesn't use the roster and he stays hard-headed and he doesn't play these players who they put on the roster, that's a fireable offense because we put these players on this roster for a reason. Not for you just to go, for you to lose, for you to win one game in February before you make a change. Who does that?
Right.
Chris,
You want
Sips made a big mistake in the conference when he mentioned about people watching videotape, watching the game more than once. Right away, that was a defensive move where he saw his insecurity popped up. So for me, respectability for the team, we would be closer had Tibs not been doing what he did last year.
Okay.
Overall, as a team, I think the players have earned respectability.
Right.
I think coaching is still questionable. And then front office is slightly above towards a more positive question, being questionable. So right now, respectability-wise, I'm going to give players on a scale of, let's say 0 to 10, I'm going to give the players 7. I'm giving Tibs a 4. I'm giving management a 6. So we're slightly on averaging out to almost a 6 overall, slightly above, just being neutral. So yeah, I think we're more respectable. But Tibs definitely, I can't believe the moves he made last year. I understand some of his moves. I think the Burks move was a safe move, which is too safe. He went too safe trying to rely on a long-time vet when it was really a very risky move. Any other coach did it, it could have been like they saw something in Burks that he hasn't shown in 7 years in the league and probably said, oh, there's something there. But in this case with Tibs went, I'm going to trust my vet, and he's been around, and he's not going to, just do something crazy. Had he gone with quickly or Deuce, that could have been a more challenging, daring a move that a young coach would have done. I think any other young coach, especially, whether it's Mark Jackson or Jason Kidd, would have tried something else with the young ones. And that would have been looked like risky, but would have been a smarter move, I think, overall.
Because you can ask management to give you another player after you exhausted your roster. That means as though you play that, and then you can go into the All-Star break, say, look, this is not working. I need a trade there. How can you ask for a trade for a player when you haven't exhausted the roster? That's what I'm saying. If I was management, I wouldn't have gave Tibs anything either, because you haven't even explored. You asked for these players. I gave them to you. Now, all of a sudden, you don't want to play them. And now you want something new. No, I tell you what. I see another wing out here for my future, something that I could benefit from. Hey, I'll throw that in there for you, but I'm not bringing you a point guard when you have not exhausted your roster. Right. You exhaust your roster first, and then we'll talk. Then you can come to the front office and ask for anything that you want. Yep. And then maybe we'll talk about it. But I'm not even trying to hear you if you have not. And that's the reason I think that the front office didn't give him a point guard, because you haven't even tried what you had. You got a 6'9" forward trying to play point. And the reason why I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt for that, the reason why you get the benefit of the doubt for that, because you won Coach of the Year.
Right. All right, go ahead, bro. My bad. That was Hard Will. I think Hard Will got something going on in the background.
All right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, man. I think I agree with you with that. I honestly believe that things could have been better. Maybe even playing Ryan Archiakino, even giving him some run at point guard. Mm-hmm. At least he's a more natural point guard. Right. If he had to show you something, right? He had to show you something for you to sign him. You know what I mean? So if he didn't show you anything, why keep him around? We brought him back 3 times since in January. In January and after, we brought him back 3 times. 2 10-day contracts, and then signed him for the season. Right? So you signed him 3 times. So he had to show you something. Yeah. So why not play him?
Yeah. Exactly. That play anybody, especially when we was in a situation where as though the second the second unit was outscoring the first unit. And then you don't even play those players. It was mind-boggling. It was like, you let your what's the word I'm looking for? You let your ego.
Right.
I let you went on your ego. Every time somebody in a press conference challenged you about it, you got madder and you stuck to your guns and you wouldn't break. And then now you got this season. And then now, after everybody, like I said, after everybody talked to you about why you didn't do this, why World Wide West went up there and told Dolan, yeah, that was the thing to do because the team is important. I'm not gonna sit back and just let you destroy what we're trying to build just because of your ego. So if Dolan needs to know about this, yes, he's gonna know. And then now all of a sudden you got people traveling with you on the road just to make sure that you playing these players. You said that you was going to acquiesce and you was going to deal with the young guys. And then all of a sudden you get in the season and then you don't. Even though I wasn't really that mad about it because I felt as though, okay, the young players with a year in, if he didn't play him this year, that he was forced to play him this year coming up, just because I always thought that the team that they had was a stepping stone for these young players, which they eventually did anyway. They eventually stepped over because, like you said, at any one of these positions that they had last year, they had a young guy that can beat them out. And given the opportunity, they might be a little bit further along now, even though they had a good pace right now. But they got a lot more. They got a lot more to learn. They second and third year players. So with that being said, maybe the maturity of them just being around in the league, seeing how people prepare for the league and seeing how other teams prepare and, the scouting reports and all of that helps. But now they like lions in the cage. You can't hold these Cubs back no more.
Okay.
It's a wrap. It's time to see. Like I say, it's graduation day this year. This is graduation day. This year coming up is graduation for all of those players. Are you going to be a New York Knick in the future? Or are you going to be trade bait for somebody else? Everybody. That's all of y'all. Y'all had enough time. Y'all learned off of RJ. RJ is the cornerstone of there. Everybody learned. So it even advanced their learning process because they was learning from other young guys. You know what I'm saying? With no attitude because they're young. They all get along. So you learn a little bit more faster. So now, the chemistry is there. Okay. Now, you got the front office looking at your coach. The front office is looking at him because nobody's going to keep a 65-year-old Tibs down there if you're not doing the right thing with the players. We're going to move you. We got somebody right there for you. We don't even have to go far. Tibs, don't play your face because you will get dealt with. They not playing with Tibs this year at all. They not playing with Tibs at all. If Tibs are that money business, you're going to see Tibs going to be gone.
But if not Tibs, then who?
What you mean?
If you
it'll be Johnny Bryant. You gonna get Bryant. You gonna move Bryant right there. It's like they're seasoned enough to make a move. They're seasoned enough to make a move right now. Not to be like but they can fight between the 8th and the 4th right there. Depends on how good they are. And to be worried of, I heard like on a couple of platforms, people are talking about, is there going to be enough minutes for Obi? Is there going to be enough minutes for Quickly? Is there going to be enough? But you know what nobody never said Quickly? Freezy? You know what's going to dictate minutes? It's only one thing going to dictate minutes. Winning. Winning. If Julius and Fournier is getting 33 minutes and we're not winning, those minutes are going to be cut. Because y'all the star. Yeah.
Are you sure?
You know what? Look, winning. It's all about winning. You're gonna You gonna let Randall and them play 48 minutes a game and we're losing?
No.
No, it's just not. It's not reality. This league is about winning. Yeah, you're gonna get your minutes in the start, but if you're losing, you're going to somebody that's gonna get you some wins. So Randall doesn't control. Nobody controls the minutes. Winning controls minutes. If you got a winning thing on it, if the data says that this team right here is scoring more and we win with these people on the floor, that's who's gonna be on the floor. That's basically how basketball is played and how coaches coach. It's all about winning. It's not all about. It's about who plays the best.
The tough part is when it's our coaches coach, and yet we look at who our coach is. I don't know if we can put an asterisk next to that, because I'm sorry, man, the way coaches coach and the way Tibs coaches doesn't always coincide in that blanket
Well, you
statement.
think if Tibs start off losing that he's going to be there?
No, but I think maybe there'll be questions, but he may not make a move too soon, but they may not do it too soon either. They may give him 40 games.
I said January. I said, look,
okay,
if you go 1-16 in a month again, Tibs is gone. I don't care what month it is. If Tibs go 1-16 in a month again, even if it's in the beginning, Tibs is gone. Right. He can't do that again.
Okay.
That is not going to be allowed. If he goes 1-16 with a lineup without making a change like he did in February, Tibs won't be around. Guaranteed. He'll sign his own death certificate if he does that.
All right.
Most definitely.
By the way, Freezy, Mac McClung signed a 1-year non-guarantee with Golden State.
Yeah, the Exhibit 9.
Oh yeah, you got that right.
Yeah, the Exhibit 9 deal. That means they can cut him.
They can cut him.
And then have his rights for G League and all that stuff. But if you sign him to an NBA contract, then you can get him.
All right, but he's a 6'2" shooting guard, although you got a 43-inch vert. I don't know if we want to add that to our roster, man. That's another dimension. Even though he's a wild card.
Supposedly he's a 6'2" point guard. Supposedly. Right. Supposedly he's a 6'2" point guard with a 45-inch vertical.
Right.
Out of you know who his college coach was, right?
No, where was he?
Patrick Ewing.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yes. Oh man, I forgot. That's where he came from.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's another log jam right there with him going there though, man. I mean, I'm looking for 6'7", 6'9", threes. But I like him though, man. I think he's a wild card. That you never know. Because Austin Reeves, man, was a pickup for the Lakers last year, man.
Yeah, but Golden State is not. The Golden State ain't playing no new players. If you're on that team, you got a position. Oh, yeah. But if somebody get hurt, you might get to play. But Golden State is set. The rotations and everything. Oh, yeah. To crack a championship lineup, you got to be balling.
No, he's just trying to make their roster. He'll try to crack our lineup. That's what he probably should try to do if he wants to play.
Well, we have an open roster spot, I think.
Yes, you
right. Do. And we
we
have
Hunt, right?
Huh?
It's Hunt. You counting Hunt being on the roster?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, we got one then. Okay.
All right.
So yeah. I mean, I'm open, man. I'm open, but I love a 6'7" to 6'9" 3 to be in that open spot there. And I don't know where that is.
And see, the reason why I don't like that is because, and not saying because I agree with you in theory, right? But are you really willing to add another player to compete with Obi Toppin and Cam Reddish? like a lot of us want to see Obi Toppin right now. A lot of us want to see Cam Reddish right now. And if you bring in another player to compete with them, now you're going to split those backup minutes 3 ways?
No, not necessarily compete, but to challenge them. I mean, it doesn't have to be a guy who's like looking to be started. If we had a super athletic 3 defensive specialist who just can make them work in practice That's what I'm talking about. That's someone who.
Okay, so what do you do with Farron Hunt then? Because right now Farron Hunt is that guy.
Farron's that guy. Okay.
What are you going to do? Because if you bring that guy in, what are you going to do with Farron Hunt? I'm just asking.
I mean, in both of them. I mean, I'm talking about both those two wearing down Cam and Obi. I want to wear them out. I want them to, like, you know, see guys with skill sets, at least athleticism, that can make them walk into the next, you know, into the live game and go, oh, this guy ain't nothing. I got this.
I don't think it's no rookie coming in from college that's going to be prepared enough to even challenge Cam and Obi. That's gonna have to be like a second, third year player. Because they already got the ins and outs. That guy right there is just gonna be fresh food.
Right.
These guys are already 2 season years in, and this guy doesn't even know the lead yet, the practice habits, or anything. And he's not that superstar level guy that's a lottery pick to come in there to even apply that pressure. That's just another dude, really, to them. And they're going to handle him as such. He might wind up getting cut because of them.
Right.
So you better go learn in Golden State, sit on the bench, keep your mouth closed, and you got a roster spot and learn from them. Because if you come over here where the dogs are eating at, you might be a stray dog with no place to go.
Yeah.
Right.
Breezy, how long y'all gonna be on?
We're gonna be on for a while, bro. I hadn't been on all day because I was having tech issues.
Oh, okay.
I had internet connectivity, bro. It was weird, man. It's just
okay,
weird.
because I'm gonna be in here for an hour and a half longer. Then I'll be back on. Let me get back in there. They waving me in now.
Oh, God.
I'm sitting in the car. I'll holler at y'all.
All right, boss.
I'll be
All
back.
right, Rob.
I'll be
Later,
back.
bro.
But I'm gonna be listening. I'm gonna be listening. All
All
right.
right. All right.
All right.
All right. Peace. Peace.
Peace.
Peace to the chat. Peace
Yeah,
to the
man.
panel. All right.
Yeah, man.
That's why I get mad.
So I understand what you're saying there, Wisdom, but I just, man, I don't know, man. Is it worth it? Is it worth bringing in that guy, challenging Cam and Obi?
The thing is, no other spot really needs in a challenge right now because point and shooting guard, center, I've got those. They got three deep, at least 3 or 4 deep, right? So right now that's the only spot that actually could have us find someone there who can actually be there as a safety net, but also, just round out the team to fill out, to have us at least be 3 deep everywhere, all the way across. Because our threes technically, our only 3 is really Cam, right? Officially, even though we're going to put RJ at 3
and Farron Hunt,
and Farron Hunt. So, and then 4 is technically Obi and Randall, but again, you could throw Sims or Farron Hunt there as well for temporary fixes. So would you play Farron Hunt at 4 if Randall went down?
No, I play Obi at the 4.
I mean, a backup. How about backup? Who would be your backup for 4? Cam or Farron, or Sims. That's what I'm talking about. My fear. So, a Randall or Obi injury leaves us vulnerable at the 4. A Cam or RJ injury leaves us vulnerable at the 3. So that's what I'm looking at, a 3-4 with someone who's a super athletic, who can actually make these guys have to work hard for points and even work a little hard, even defensively if they don't have a real offensive game, just the movement, just the foot movement, lateral movements. People are talking about Obi's stiff hips and stuff.
Right.
But if you can have someone where in practice he has to learn to compensate and adjust, simply by footwork and body positioning to get into spaces, then we need someone to push him like that, because right now no one really can challenge him. Cam a little bit, I think.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what I'm looking at. But I am worried about Tibs as a coach, though. And the thing is, right now, front office, if they stay pat, And next year we don't have any draft picks or free agent unless the team is, second round or better. I think they start to go down to C- and potentially, a D. So I'm saying that they're on a tightrope as well. A short leash.
I don't know, man.
Because I'm giving him credit this year. This year, I'm not gonna give him too much credit for Brunson. It's a relationship question, all right? That was an issue where they had to contact the connection. So
Okay.
I'm not giving him a lot of credit. I'm gonna say I approve of it, but it's not like a check. Like, okay, they showed me what they got because they knew him, his family. Hartenstein, yeah, but again, maybe a C because I don't know if anyone was really looking at him right now outside of the Knicks. And what he got, $8 million, which is his best contract ever.
Yep.
Unless of course, like EG 14,000, predicts if something like that happens, then yeah, we give them lots of credit for that. But right now, again, a C for that. You did a decent job. You passed. Nothing else. Getting rid of your baggage, whether it's, Kemba, moving Burks away, of course, Noel, not a baggage, at a small price.
Right.
Again, that's not even a what was a grade where you didn't finish the class, you didn't fail either.
Incomplete.
Incomplete. Yep, they get incomplete.
Right.
I say incomplete for them. So doesn't affect the GPA, but doesn't benefit them at all either. Right. So that's incomplete for me right now. So that's where they are with me. But unless, of course, we get a Donovan or this roster, the way it is, ends up winning 50-plus games or gets second round. Then we're talking. So I said, okay, I see what you guys are doing.
Right.
So that's where I'm with the team, man.
I don't know about a third power forward, though. I don't know if that is. I don't know. Hardwell, what you thinking? What are you thinking about a third power forward?
Third power forward, you said?
Yeah.
I mean, Freezy, if we're gonna get talent, then we're gonna get talent. I ain't against talent. As far as like what we have, we gotta find time for Obi right now if he's gonna be on the team. Right. At the 4, I'm thinking, Julius gonna play. I don't know. Bringing in another one, I think Hartenstein is decent because he can stretch the court and he can probably go to the 4. They're gonna go a little big because he could be outside. He's not caught in the middle. So I don't know. If you bring another 4 here, then what you doing with Obi and what you doing with Randall?
For one, what you doing with Obi? Because Obi's sensitive.
Really, Obi. Yeah, Obi's. I mean, you want to call him that? Yeah, Obi's he's a little sensitive, or due to the situation that he went through. And I said it earlier: players playing behind players that they don't look up to. That's a good way to put it. Playing behind players that's not bringing them to the playoffs. It's a whole bunch of ways you could look at it. It's not inspiring to the young guys. You know what I'm saying? They say, "Oh, they get along." Man, winning games make people get along. You know that. Winning solves everything. So if they're not winning, you have a younger guy feeling like he should be getting more time and being in his position. Because when you look at the data and you see, okay, Randall, for example, he's averaging 20 and 10. So why this can't equate to wins? So not saying get rid of him for that, but that should be some things he should be looking at and studying. That's what he should be looking at and studying.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this chat dropped who was that? It said trading our 11th pick since our picks were gone and getting 3 picks for it. Is that a win to you, Freezy?
What is that? Say that again.
When they traded our number 11 draft pick and they end up getting 3 first round protected first rounders, is that a win to you?
No.
Me either. I can't see why. Who just said that? I want him to justify that argument because I don't see it as a win. Like I know I don't want to mention the name of who they got drafted and then they traded and that got you mad, but to have that 11 pick and get 3 protected picks is not a win to me. It's a decent move, but I can't give them any serious positive grades on that.
Right.
That's just a okay. We didn't get what we wanted. All right, let's just find what we can do with this and just pass it to somebody. Oh man, who just said that? So I want to argue as to why that's a win. That's Nick Yak. Nick Yak said that. Don't get credit for Brunson. No. Minimum credit for Brunson. Family. 3 picks for 11 pick when our players were all taken. Nah, not a win. Again, incomplete. I'll accept it, but I'm not crazy about it. In fact, it could be a borderline fail.
Now, I'm not saying. Oh, okay. So let me clarify. Okay. Let me clarify my stance on that. Do I think it's a win that lottery pick, that sure thing for 3 protected first round picks down the road? I don't think it's a win, right? I just think it's neutral. I think it's a lateral move.
Right.
Like you don't like the guy that you like, say for instance, whoever's there at that pick, you're like, I don't think he's a game changer. So let me kick this can down the road some until the guy that we want to pick is there. But the thing is, you don't know if Ousmane Dieng is a game changer or not until you get him.
Right.
Now, once you get him and bring him into camp, as soon as he puts your uniform on, you won't ever be able to trade him for 3 protected lottery picks unless he's a superstar. Right? So you have to weigh that. Do I trade him now while he's worth the highest that we can get for him? Or do we trade him down the road if he pans out? And they chose to trade him if he, right now, because right now his value will never be as high as it is unless he becomes a superstar.
Right.
So right, to me, is it a smart move? Yes. It's a smart move after you made the decision to trade it. Right? Once you decided to trade it, what they got for him was smart.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Now, could you have brought in more young talent to go with these kids? I mean, how many kids? I mean, what is this, a kindergarten field trip? I mean, at some point, you got to start consolidating talent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to make it sound like I hate the kids, but man, how many kids you gonna have?
True that. Exactly. That was about fair about getting another rookie, but also that's also about fair about having first round picks next year unless we trade them.
It's crazy.
So next
It's
year,
crazy. I was gonna say it's crazy because if you had kids that you felt that your future was bright about, you wouldn't feel that way.
Right.
And some of these kids could have an upside, all right, but they have to get to going. Like I feel like, it's a lot of things you got to have. You got to get the minutes. You got to have confidence, and the team got to be, you got to be able to be fitting into what the team is doing. And I think a lot of the players aren't because they not, they don't have the players like you said that could take the pressure off. Rather last season, let's say, because bringing Brunson in, it changes that a little bit to me because I think it lets the players that look bad, they'll have a chance to, to look a little bit better next season because, Randu and RJ, I never looked at them as being crazy ball handlers or somebody that's going to have the ball in their hand as much as they did. So with Brunson, he'll be able to create some easy buckets for them and take the ball handling, slim their ball handling duties down a lot, which will, make those guys look better. Because when you have that type of play on your team, like I always say, that can attack the paint, kick, you know what I'm saying, then that's the difference maker. That's better than the guard. We haven't had nothing like that in a long time.
Right.
In the garden. So be prepared, be hyped for that for sure.
Right.
I'm excited.
You should be.
You
should be very excited. Because he's going to create space and he's going to create a lot of things that is going to be electrifying for the garden. But the whole East is going to be competitive. So I just feel like we need a little bit more help. We need one more piece, a dog. We need one more dog in that mix that could stand up.
Right. I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. I think it's as simple as this. Can our best player beat another team's best player mano a mano? Right?
Mhm.
Can RJ Barrett on a nightly basis beat a Jimmy Butler, a Miles Bridges, Chris Middleton, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Tobias Harris? Can RJ Barrett do that on a nightly basis?
Did you apply for Discover card?
Right now,
Oh.
I say no. Right? Right.
I
Now,
think he may have a chance, more of a chance now because of what I just said.
yeah.
Because it'd be easier.
I was gonna get to that. To get to that, what you said, right?
Mhm.
But I think Julius Randle on a nightly basis beats most power forwards mano a mano.
I could agree with that.
Last year, could RJ Barrett do it? No, right?
hmm
All right. So here's the thing. Here's RJ Barrett. What RJ Barrett can do. If RJ Barrett, like EG 14,000 said, if RJ Barrett starts to pass the ball, now you're looking at a dynamic wing player. It's not athleticism. It's not free throw percentage. It's not percentage finishing at the rim. If RJ becomes a better passer and more willing passer, somewhere in the range of 25%, now you're talking about RJ Barrett going from an inefficient scorer to Jimmy Butler, better than Jimmy Butler, better than Tobias Harris, right? The reason why RJ Barrett has so many people defending his shots at the basket is because there is no threat of him passing the basketball to anybody else. As soon as RJ Barrett put his head down, the defense collapsed because RJ ain't kicking it to nobody else.
Right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say let's RJ should do drills where he does not ever shoot the basketball during practice. Like just every time he drives, look for the open man. So his first thought becomes that almost.
But you can't do that though, Wiz.
No, I'm just saying. It's like
he just got to play better basketball. I was gonna say you basically, not to cut you off. I didn't mean to cut you off. So you can't really do that though, really, like because it's about instincts and making the correct play. And we could see he's not making the correct play when we see somebody he could have passed to.
Right.
All right. But I think I was gonna ask you guys, where does that start from? Like, why does when you're on a team and you start playing, like, where does that like?
He don't have
what
faith
makes a player do that?
He don't have faith in his teammates.
Or
that could be one reason. It could be and the reason why I said it like that because it could be numerous reasons. You know, I could be on the team and I see somebody else doing it and I'll do it. And get me wrong, we could take RJ out the equation. We could just say any player in that situation. You feel what I'm saying? That's just, you break it down of why is that happening. So then when you break it down and you look at that, then you got to ask yourself. So you can't say a player can't do it.
Well,
you got to ask yourself, did he want to do it? No, I'm not. Listen, I'm not naming it.
Because Randall's assist percent, his assist percentage.
See, I didn't say nobody name.
No, I'm not. I didn't. But I didn't say. But listen, I didn't say you said Randall. I didn't say you said Randall. But what I'm saying, what I'm saying is listen to what I'm saying.
I hear you.
It can't be Randall or other vets because their assist percentage is twice as high as RJ's. Twice as high. Right? These dudes pass the ball as much as people will knock the veterans that we have. They at least know how to play basketball. They have experiences, right? RJ Barrett is still a young player trying to find out who he is in the league. You got to let him grow and cook and play through his mistakes.
Yeah,
that's the hard drill. I was going to say the drill. In fact, the drill is it's almost like a one-handed. We tie your hand behind the back, where you pass it on the one hand. The drill is that they set up positions where guys are open and they switch it around. And every time he drives, he must find an open man. So it's almost like taking shots. Just keep doing that drill over and over again. So it almost becomes a part of his nature. Not that he's going to do it every time in a pickup game, but like in just drills. And whether they put a cone or a net, and he just passes to where the open shot should be. I mean, open man should be, just to get his mindset that there are people open. I think part of his problem was it was too easy for him. Like when he drives left, since he always succeeded, he figured I'm going to do it because I'm always going to succeed. And then because he never failed, now finally the pros they call on to him, and he can't stop that habit because he picked it up so early of always being able to do it. So I think that's part of the problem is that they need to break him out of that habit, and part of it could be just run drills where he does every practice he does 100 times where he drives, and they have they have like a bucket or something where he has to pass to and they move it around, and he has to keep his eyes open. You know, sound like when you dribble, when you do dribble drills and you don't watch the ball, and eventually don't have to look at the ball at all, just start dribbling, and you start crossing over without looking at the ball. It's just that practice of training your body to do it. And then in game situations, you still may go to your natural tendency to try to score, but at least you've developed a little ability to do something outside your comfort zone of seeing have your lateral vision or, being able to see open players. So that's what I want RJ to do. Something where he breaks the habit of thinking, every time I drive, I'm going to score, because it's not happening anymore. He's got to find.
Hartwell, you know what? You know what is a celebrated bad narrative from last year?
What?
When we celebrated that Tom Thibodeau gave the keys to the offense to RJ Barrett.
Oh.
I don't think we celebrated. I think a lot of us seen it coming because the way things were going. I don't think it was I mean, and it's just like when we say, one Knicks fan is for Randall, one Knicks fan likes RJ, but at the end of the day, we all Knicks fans, so we just want the best for the team. And I always, when I compare, not even compare, when I talk about like those two players, for example, right? I always say that you comparing a third-year player to an eighth-year player.
Right.
To me, you can't do that. Because like you said, Freezy, he's still learning. But the only reason why I asked when you break it down on why would players do stuff like that, because to me, and that's why I said to SARS that, not saying his drill idea don't work, but if a player could do certain things, he could make a pass. He could make that read. Now, did he, when you're in a situation where you're trying to prove yourself and you're doing a lot of things that you ain't supposed to be doing, then that's what messes all that type of stuff up, if you ask me, when you're playing in a game. So it's all about basically playing comfortably, and I didn't see that really too tough. Like, not saying that I can't make no excuses for none of them really, because they all need to improve. But I didn't see comfort to where it's like dudes knew what they had to do and how to do it. I didn't see it. And I feel like when you're in that situation and you forcing the issue and you're doing a lot of stuff that you ain't supposed to do, then you ain't gonna be passing the ball right. You ain't doing a lot of stuff right. And that's what I saw from RJ. You know what I'm saying? And I know that wasn't his game. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just going straight like a deer in headlights.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. A third-year player, no real player that got a bop next to him, right? Put Fournier next to him, move him to the 3. Like, think about if they saying they're gonna make him more of a defensive player, if that's the case, because when he came out, remember, and I said this a while back to you, Freeze, I was like, dudes were saying RJ is gonna be our defensive player. And when that narrative changed and he started having to score more, that went out the window because he can't be a two-way player that fast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to make it make sense. So when my point in saying when he had to score more was because what happened, what was going on with the offense and the team. And if that wasn't happening, if we had better structure or a point guard or better game plans from our coach, then he would have put dudes in better position to be great and score the ball and share the ball. But when you got to force shots and do things unexpectedly, have to take on more of a role than you expect them to do at that moment, then you got to just show up to your best ability. Really. He ain't no Iverson or nobody like that. We know that. You know what I'm saying, Freezy?
Right.
Like, it's like we know what he is. I mean, he got a chance to be better than what some people say, but he got to hurry up. Can't be missing free throws and missing easy buckets.
because we see the Anthony Edwards, we see the Ja Morants. They even gave Darius Garland the bag already and put him at an all-star. So if RJ don't have enough stuff to motivate him, then we can't save him as fans. We Knicks fans. He'll be a team. He'd be on another team, and I'll just look at his stats. That's all. I'm still gonna be a Knicks fan.
Right.
If that was to happen, I'm just saying,
Right. Actually, Karen Milton is talking about RJ. It's a middle school move to have cones and stuff. Man, all the way through college, play a little semi-pro, you still do the basic drills to improve your skill set, no matter what it is. There's certain things you just keep doing, even if you think it's like you just think about pick and roll was a basic move, right? Basic play. No, you can use the basics to develop your skill set for as long as you play. You add all the dimensions to it, but you don't have to just use. You'd have to drop all the basic things that you used to do in the past.
Right.
I mean, foul shooting is a basic drill. You take foul shots. Larry Bird did it his whole career and wouldn't leave the court, right, till he hit 100 straight or something like that, right? You could say, oh yeah, taking foul shots is basic. That's kindergarten stuff. That's junior high stuff. Man, you take that, you keep developing that shot till it becomes so automatic.
But you also talking about the dude with the greatest concentration probably in NBA history.
Right. That's true.
Larry Bird, the greatest concentration, bro.
Yep.
In NBA history. Like, he could focus through, listen, Larry Bird.
I know, man.
Bro.
It's a freak, man. It's great.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Uncle Fulio.
Shout out to Josh. What's good, Fulio? Pull up to the panel, man.
I know.
You got something to say? Pull up, man. You see Big Hard Wheel in the building. You don't want this smoke up here. You don't want this big smoke. This Queens Get the Money. That's my new AKA. Queens Get the Money.
I gotta put my SWAT hat on because Uncle Fulio, if he comes up in there,
and I got Jay Boogie right here in the building with me.
Yeah, Uncle Fulio, jump on, man. I got my SWAT hat on, waiting for you, man. You're right. Maybe it's scared of us, Hardwell. Here, Uncle Fulio don't want to jump.
Yeah, he don't want that smoke.
He don't want that smoke at all.
He was on For the Love of the Game with me last time. He was ranting about, how he don't approve that the Knicks didn't let nobody in our own. I haven't spoke to him since then.
In the press conference?
Nephew, I hope that there's no hard feelings. You haven't came and checked on your uncle in a while. You know what I'm saying, nephew?
Oh, wow.
Send me a message or something, man. I hope it ain't no hard feelings, man. I had said something on Twitter. I got in his business with him and Sim. And I said, Sim retweeted it. And I said, oh, man, I should have mind my business, man. Now my nephew he don't even rock with his uncle no more. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man. Yeah, man.
Yo, Fulio, you already know, man. Shout out to my co-host, Worldwide L. I got Jay Boogie in the building, too. Jay Boogie was in New York. He pulled up on me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
They chilling right now, but Jay Boogie's around the tri-state. Just letting y'all know.
Okay.
Oh, man. No Nick has Larry Bird's education. Actually, I think IQ may have Larry Bird's education. I mean, I think he's the kind of guy who will stay in the gym and practice over and over again. But again, the focus is tough to say, is he doing one single move till he masters it, right? You know Bruce Lee's adage, right? I fear not the man who does 10,000 kicks. I fear the man who does one kick 10,000 times.
What?
Yes, sir. So, yep. So master that one kick, man, and then goes on to the next.
Man, wow.
So that's where's these guys talking about? I think IQ will do that. I think RJ is kind of like that too. I think RJ will spend time just over and over again. Maybe the challenge is, what's he practicing? What's he working on? Maybe it's what is he working on rather than how much is he working.
Right.
Because you could work hard or work smart. And hopefully I can't believe RJ can get a 75% foul shooting. I refuse to believe he can do that. I think it's possible. Thomas Shepard was fast. Amazing. That's not amazing. That's just a quote from Bruce, man. That's a quote from my boy Bruce Lee. Enter the Dragon.
Yeah, man.
That's dedication. That's focus.
Man, that is crazy, bro. Right now, I'm looking for. There it is. In the month of February, RJ Barrett played 40 minutes a game. He shot 39% from three. And he averaged, RJ Barrett in the month of February averaged 28.3 points a game.
Wow.
That's crazy, right?
Yep. What was his field goal?
42.9.
42.9. How about free throw in that time? Yeah, free throw percent in that time as well?
67%.
Oh, man. So he could have averaged 30 points a game?
He could have.
Oh, man. Wow. That's Bernard King level.
Yeah.
Man.
The reason why I brought that up, too. Hey, Wiz, listen, I'm sorry, man. I'm eating these sunflower seeds, bro. It's too hot to get in that kitchen, bro. I swear it's too hot to get in that kitchen, man. Right. I opened the side door to let some air get man, no.
What's the temperature down there? What temperature you guys got?
Right now, it's showing 88 degrees, but it was hotter than that earlier.
Right.
Yeah, man. Yo, that's crazy, bro.
I'm in LA, man. So, and we think it's hot too right now. So, 90. We're at 90 right now.
So I'm eating sunflower seeds, man, and trying to dodge the kitchen.
I'm trying to learn to chug my water, trying to get my water intake up. That's what I'm doing.
For what?
I started my workout again, started train. When I used to bodybuild, I used to do at least a minimum 1 gallon a day, sometimes 1.5 gallons. I've done 2 in some crazy days when I do major cardio and I'm doing double and triple splits. So I used to just pour water, and mostly just perspiration while I'm in the gym. So okay. Yeah, man.
I'm trying to. I want to get back into.
Right.
So the thing is ultimately, and I'm gonna get back to this Knicks talk, right? But ultimately, so I'm gonna turn 60 in a few years, right? And so what I want to do is at 60, I still want to be able to bench 405.
Oh, snap! Okay.
I'm gonna be able to run. I want to be that dude. Right. Yeah.
But what actually my goal, I was doing 225 40 times.
Wow.
I dropped instead of going max, I started going high rep at a challenge.
High reps. Yep.
High reps at a challenging weight. So I was doing 225 40 times. I mean, controlled, not just pumping. I mean, like almost like a 3 count.
Do you know how much stamina you have to have, bro?
Oh,
because the strength is there.
Exactly.
It's the stamina, man.
And the lactic acid buildup and then.
Oh, yeah. Your arms be burning, man. Look, man. Yeah.
Did you ever have to hold the rifle out? Hold your rifle out straight?
Yeah.
That kind of pain, that kind of burn. Right. Yeah. It looks easy, but after a while, so yeah, that's what I was doing. Taking that, feeling that lactic acid buildup, go through that pain. So yeah, that's what we want.
But I like that though.
Me too, man.
I like that. I'm a weirdo like that, man. I like that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get my deadlift up too. That's what I really need to work on because the older I get, the more I realize, man, my balance ain't the same.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Man.
Right back.
Yeah, but hey, man. So these Knicks, bro.
Mm-hmm.
These Knicks, I don't know if it's all Tibs or all Randall or all RJ or all Quickly. I think ultimately, we just have an incomplete roster.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm in the belief that it's not about the X's and O's, it's about the Jimmy and Joes.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you remember how you ever watch college football?
Oh yeah.
You remember
That's
how
why.
good?
That's why I knew Chubbs and Lamar would be better than Saquon.
Yeah, man. Yo, so the U used to have this team where they had at one time on campus they had Najee Davenport, Frank Gore, Edgerrin James, Willis McGahee, and Clinton Portis. All at the same time, all on campus at the same time. Now think about that. Najee Davenport, Frank Gore, Edgerrin James, Clinton Portis, Willis McGahee, all at the same time, right?
Yep.
All at the same time. And they had to fight for reps.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Frank Gore was the best of them. In college, Frank Gore was the best, but he was always hurt. Right? Frank Gore was the best of all of them, but he was always hurt, right?
Right.
Najee Davenport was the most physically gifted. He was bigger, one of the faster dudes, but whatever. And so they used to run the same offense where they had Reggie Wayne, Kenyon Rambo, Andre Johnson, Santana Moss. When they had all that talent, they used to run the same offense as Ohio State. But you know who used to win in the matchups? The U. Because Ohio State and Miami had the same offense, same defensive scheme, but it's about the X's and O's and not about the Jimmy and Joes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So it's one of those things that I would say Knicks fans, I think what it is we probably still need an infusion of talent.
Right.
We still need an infusion of talent.
That was 01 Hurricanes, right?
Yeah, that was. Yeah, it wasn't just 01. It was like a stretch. It was like
yes, that's true.
Yeah, it was like a from about 90 from about 96 to about 2002.
Yep. And they all went at least 2 years plus, right? Some of them were like, which means that those guys could have been pros playing college football.
Right.
Oh, man.
And then if you find out, if you devise a scheme, right, to stop Andre Johnson, Santana Moss, Kenyon Rambo, Reggie Wayne, Edgerrin James, Clinton Portis, Willis McGahee, they would just dump it down to the tight end, a dude named Jeremy Shockey.
Shockey, yes.
Or a dude named Kellen Winslow Jr. I
know. Damn.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
So that's what I'm saying about the Knicks. Like, no matter how good the systems are, I think we probably just need an infusion of talent.
Mm-hmm.
I think we just need an infusion of talent, man.
Absolutely.
Hey, I'm looking at these. I'm trying to pull up numbers and stuff, man. My internet is misbehaving. I don't know what it is. Like, what I probably have to do is reset the entire computer. Like, just go back and reset it. I don't know how long that's gonna take, but whatever.
Right.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna just do that, man. I'm gonna try to restore it back to factory, and then just clean everything, man, and go from there. Because the whole time, like when you were talking, I was legit trying to pull up the RJ stats, the stats to back what you were saying, so I could put them on the screen.
Okay. Yes, yeah. Jay, what's up, soldier? Oh man.
Yeah, man.
I was trying to think about. Someone asked, would you trade RJ for Ben Simmons?
No. No. No.
I mean, for
one, I like to represent Brooklyn, bro.
Okay.
In the Bronx, right? I like the planet of Brooklyn. I like the Bronx. I like the X, right? But man, God dog it. Hey, man, Neville Humphreys, thank you for your generous contribution. Neville Humphrey says, the number one reason why I like listening to your show is a contradiction percolating in your head. Yeah, man. It's called processing. Anybody ever heard that thing called processing? Process?
Is
Process.
he's trying to say you flip flop, Frizz? That's what he's trying to say.
No, what it is I think when we think things through, when we think out loud, I think people or I think sometimes people get used to people in my position making declarative statements.
Right.
RJ's the best. RJ's the GOAT. And then when I say something like, RJ needs to work to become better, and then say RJ Barrett averaged 28 points a game in the month of February, people are like, no, that's a contradiction, because if he averaged 28 points a game in February, he don't need to work on nothing. Yes, he do. Yes, he does.
I know.
Yes, he does, man. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them deals. Like, I basically is I try to think my way through situations and try to mine for more data, uncover more data, so that when we speak to certain points, we don't. I don't want to make a declarative statement. And then also, what I like to do is, and I know this is going to be offensive, but I really like hearing you guys talk. And I know people get offended by that, right? People get offended. Why you want to hear other people? Why you want people to have their own opinion? What you mean?
Man, it's funny.
What you mean? Like, yeah. There's nothing wrong with somebody having their own opinion. Would I have to disagree with somebody having their own opinion? Why? And if Wiz, you have your own opinion and it makes sense to me, why is it wrong for me to say, hey, you know what? I never thought about it that way.
Exactly. Because I'm trying to think about Melton's got my case about RJ. He averaged 28. People talk about Combs. I'm like, he averaged 28 scoring, but he's not passing. So Combs, yes, but someone who's not doing the passing drills. It's almost like I tell you Uncle Freeze that I got a workout routine for you, and it's called push-ups. Man, Uncle Freeze, the bench is 4 or 5. Why I gotta do push-ups? Right? What you mean?
I was just doing push-ups earlier.
There we go. I know. But he's like, oh, he wants to do 4 or 5, but why? If you can bench 4 or 5, why you just want to do his own body weight? Right. There's no logic to why you don't keep on doing the fundamentals. So also a form correction. I sometimes go to the gym. I normally I warm up at 135 because but when I've done the bar and done super slow motion and done 10 counts on just the bar alone, and people look at me and go, why is he just doing the bar? Even my his daughter does the bar, and I'm like, man, get the form right, get my shoulders aligned, get my elbows tucked, get my core tight. You do the fundamentals forever to perfect your more advanced movements. So everything you do I don't never give the fundamentals, the basics. Still a factor.
Right. I like to tuck my feet up under my hip.
Yep.
I know some people like to put their feet flat on the floor.
Right.
But I like to get that. I like to dig my toes and get that heel push too. Get that arch in your back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that also that balance you have to do. That means you have to give the ball balance to do that.
Right.
If you're on the floor, you can actually have your forearm all twisted and still get the weight up. And as you know, you have one shoulder out of alignment.
And then you're gonna tear your pectoral muscle.
Tear the pecs, exactly.
Yeah, and so Neville Humphrey says trade all the kids, draft more players. Julius is the best. Julius is the worst. Coach Tibs is the best. Coach Tibs sucks.
Oh
yeah,
man.
I think yeah. I don't know if we said trade all the kids, and I just want to speak to this just real quick. I wouldn't trade all the kids though, Neville Humphreys, but what I would do is if there's a superstar out here that we can get them kids out of here.
There we go.
Right? And draft more players. Teams are going to do that anyway. Teams are going to draft more players anyway. Right? That's just what it is. That's just what it is. Right?
Yep.
Like trade all the kids. We won't trade the kids unless we can do two things. Consolidate, because you're not gonna play 11 kids. You're not gonna play 11 kids and 3 veterans. You're not gonna play 11 kids and 3 veterans. That's out. Or not just 3 veterans, but you're not gonna play 11 kids and then Brunson, Randall, Fournier, Rose.
That's it.
Yeah, you're not gonna play, say 9 kids and 4 veterans.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
What I would say is consolidate some of the kids if you can. If you could take all those kids and consolidate them into, say, 4 kids, right? Like if you could legit take Cam, Obi, Farron Hunt, and Deuce McBride and turn them into a John Collins? Bruh, would you do that? Wiz, would you do that? Would you? Or would you?
Kevin Obi, I love Kevin Obi, but you know, I guess where you're going. Yeah, where you're going. Yes, because again, we're not going to play, 8 or 9 kids. So why have them sitting there wasting away on the bench?
Yeah, you're not going to play 12 players a night. You're not playing
Exactly.
13 people a night.
Yep. Even if there are injuries, you're still going to have depth. So I can still afford to lose 2 or 3 of those kids without being fearful of lack of depth. And we're going to replace them anyway with someone who can back up just in case. So, no. Of course, you have to consider it. It's not a no. Again, some people are thinking 3 to 5 year plan, because right now with the squad we have right now, we're not going to win a chip next year.
No.
Probably not the year after. Not a chip. Maybe look for the conference finals year after that. So looking 3 years minimum down the road with the kids we have right now. Minimum.
Okay.
Can I accelerate that by just moving 2 or 3 of them and bringing someone who's going to bring us to the conference finals next year?
Right.
If we're looking at, playoffs next year instead of conference finals, why wouldn't I consider that? Now, what people are fearing is that these kids are going to develop something that we're going to be regret once we let 2 of them go. So, yes, am I willing to see this year through and see where they're going to step? But the thing is, if 3 of them develop, let's say RJ, Cam, and Obi, or IQ, actually, let's pick the ones most likely. RJ, Cam, and IQ really show us some great development. Next year, going to be in the same spot again, going, okay, give Obi 1 more year. Okay, give Grimes and Deuce 1 more year. We're going to be back to that same situation of saying 1 more year. Let's see what they got. I don't know. I'm just willing to make the deal to see if those 3 that we're worried about that didn't show us some improvement next year, we're going to wait another year. And then if they don't show us another year, now we're again missing a year of being a contender. Right. So, yes, I want to stay with a young movement, but not a child movement. I'm okay with, these young adults, but I don't want to stay there with a constant young movement where we're looking 3 to 5 years at the minimum before we start being competitive at a conference level. So, yeah, I'm letting 2 or 3 of them go.
Yeah, and Neville Humphrey says we have to give the kids time to bloom before we make any major move. Okay, like I said just a few minutes ago, you're not going to play all these kids. all these kids are not going to bloom.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right. You got kids stacked on top of each other.
Right.
Right. Would you trade? I like what Sherwin said. Would I would trade Obi, Cam, Farron Hunt, and Miles McBride for OG Anunoby right now.
Mm.
Right now, I would do that. Because he's still young, not a veteran. Right? My only thing is that dude stays hurt.
Mm. Wow. Neville Humphrey would want to start Obi at the 3. Brunson,
No.
RJ, Obi, Julius, and Mitchell. Wow.
No, he don't.
I can't do that.
You ain't never seen that man write that. That man ain't never write that. You know what I'm saying?
But they go Wi-Fi is like, stop the babysitter. The kids ain't ready. Trade them bums. Let's go.
Right.
Oh man, but no, I mean, again, I'm willing to see what the ones that we're gonna display next year what they have, and the ones who don't show it, then yes, let them go. Do say next up and try to see if the next ones have it, which again is a delay in our overall team development. And if you're talking about, which means that if we let go of 3 kids next summer because they didn't show out,
Right.
so 3 show and 3 then who got playing time, right? So again, we're gonna do IQ, Cam, RJ. They show us something. We go, okay, there's a promise. Give those 2 guys their contracts. IQ gets ready to give him his. OB, Grimes, whether it's Sims, Deuce, whatever is left over, they don't show us something. We let go 2 of them. Who are gonna bring in 2 new ones, and then we just bring the next 2 up and go, okay.
And then you start the process all over.
We started over exactly.
Right.
That's hamster and treadmill type. That's hamster and treadmill. Yes, incremental improvement, but we're still not going anywhere really fast. So yeah, I mean, again, I love all those kids, but it just can't be that we're gonna keep repeating the same position we are this year because we want to hold on to them and see what's gonna happen, and be afraid that two of them may develop something somewhere else, and some of them should develop somewhere else because that's probably the only way they're going to develop. Like you watch Maxi. When you talk about Maxi and IQ earlier, you all were talking about Maxi and IQ. Maxi development is because he has Joel Embiid right there at Harden. It helps. It helps to have 2 all-stars right there next to you to help you develop. So there's no problem with me, realizing that some people just may not develop with us. I'm almost afraid right now, my boy, Deuce, love Deuce. He may have to go somewhere else to really show what he got, and that's something I'm going to be okay with. So, you guys can talk what you want to talk, but I got to see development, and then if no movement, we got to make moves and get us some stars.
Right.
They're like, they won't accept Julius starting OB off the bench. Neville says that. Man, they will accept that, man. I'm sorry. OB's got to wait his turn, and maybe he's going to play 16 to 18 minutes, but you can't bench Julius, and you can't not see what he's got this year after his, fall off. So OB at the 3 is not going to happen.
No.
No. Wow.
Right. And you know what? What I would say to this man is, OB doesn't have to be perfect, bro. And RJ doesn't have to be perfect. And Cam Reddish doesn't have to be perfect. And Quickly doesn't have to be perfect. But you know what they have to do, though? Win.
Yes.
And so if these young players can't contribute to winning, we need to get them out of here. I don't care about nobody's development. right? Because ultimately, the ultimate goal in any sport, it's like I'm offering the challenge. I'm offering a challenge to Wiz. Go get a chessboard and line it up. Whoever you think is the best chess player in the world, go get him. And I'm going to play him, right? I'm going to play him. And you know what the ultimate goal for me is? Winning.
Exactly.
It ain't about me getting better. It ain't about me, blah, blah, blah. It ain't about the hoopla, pomp and circumstance. It's about one thing. Win. That used to be an Army commercial back in the day. Because man, at one point, all the military services used to have all these spectacular mini movies, like these 30-second mini movies to recruit you to go down to the recruiting station.
Right.
There's something deep inside you. Things, all this stuff, right? All these mini movies on TV, right? And the Army was like, yo, you know what? It all comes down to one thing. Win. We don't care who the enemy is. We don't care what the drill is. We don't care about this, that, whatever it is. It comes down to one thing. Every time you're in one, every time you have a thing against somebody else, anytime it's you against somebody, the ultimate goal is win. Right? And I think we get confused. That's where I think we get confused at. We get so. But if Grimes can develop a crossover, he can get in the pick and roll. I don't give it. I don't care nothing about none of that stuff. Can Grimes help us win? I don't care nothing about Obi doing the 360 in the break. Can Obi help us win? That's what you bring these players in here to do. You don't bring them in here to develop. Sherman says, I am putting Cam in the trade for OG. Okay. All right. Okay. Even though I like Cam, I excuse me, I like all these kids, right? Right? But this ain't the first group of young kids we done had. I think we naive. Wiz, we being naive, bro. We legit are saying, man, this is the first time we ever had a young core. We don't forgot about Kevin Knox that fast. We don't forgot about Frank Ntilikina that fast. We don't forget about Damian Dotson, Tony Roten, Iggy Brasdakis, Isaiah Hicks, Luke Cornett. That freaking fast.
Right.
That was the young core before this one. Remember, RJ Barrett was the young pup in that young core. And guess what happened? RJ Barrett wound up being good, so we got rid of most of them young players and then kicked the can down the road with another young core. Juju 92, what's good? Wiz, you know what? I'm gonna do a video on that. I'm gonna do a video on us kicking the can down the road.
Oh man, that's gonna be a 20-year.
Yeah, that video is gonna be 7 hours long. About every time we get disappointed, we try to bring in a young core and it don't work. But we have faith. We have the ultimate faith in it, though. Boss man, I gotta run. My wife told me to get off the internet for a little while.
Yes, sir. Yeah, go ahead and probably, like someone said, reboot the computer, the Wi-Fi, your router, everything. Yeah. And let's see if I'm gonna do that. But yeah, man, good talking to you, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, you want to see the dog? I'm gonna see if I can get.
Oh, definitely.
Come here, Benny.
So you show us your daughter, now your dog, man. Okay, we're seeing the whole fam soon. Except,
yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get Benny to come. Oh, Gaston. Benny, come on.
Let's see, Benny.
All right. That's Benny.
Oh, nice. Oh man, Benny, how you doing? Hey. This is your Uncle Wiz. That's a beautiful looking dog, man.
Yeah, man. We take care of him, man.
How much he weighs right now? About what? 40, 50?
Maybe about 30.
30?
Maybe about 30 pounds.
Nice.
Hey, Benny. All right, man. I'm gonna let
right.
Benny get down.
All right.
Go, Benny. Go.
All right, Chad. Thanks a lot, man.
He just jumped off the top rope right on top of my other dog.
Oh man.
He just jumped off my lap and did a Bret Hart like on top of the other dog.
Yes, sir.
The other dog just laid down. He just said, yeah, man. All right, y'all. We're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna see y'all later on tonight. Nick's after party later on tonight, man. I'll holler at y'all later.
All right. Peace.
All right, peace, bro.
Okay.